who were stuck there for the better part of almost 3 weeks now. 17 days they've been stuck there. And these are the first pictures from inside. You can see how the workers are being pulled out. And clearly, what a moment this is. Pushkar Dhami, the Chief Minister, has been there for the better part of the last week or so. General VK Singh, you can see him in the pictures as well. These are the first pictures of those workers who've been rescued from this tunnel. They've been trapped there for the last 17 days. Now we can confirm that 5 workers have been pulled out. This is a massive testimony to the hard work, to the patience. Really, they were tested to the very hilt. Over the last 24 hours, they were digging manually by hand. These rat miners who were brought in from Bihar and Jharkhand, they were digging by hand because they couldn't dig through machines anymore. The auger machine had broken. The drill of the auger machine had broken. Those drill bits had to be removed manually by hand, and the rest of the debris, about 8 to 10 meters, had to be dug by hand. So for the last 26 hours, hand digging was happening there, and finally they have found success. They have found the trapped workers. 5 of the 41 have been rescued, and we're given to understand that in the next couple of hours, the remaining 36 will be rescued as well. Let me go across to Sudhir Krishna, former Urban Secretary, who's joining us. Raghav Chandra is former Chairman of the NHAI. Mr. Chandra, all right, Mr. Sudhir Krishna is there with us on the line now. Mr. Sudhir Krishna, this is a story that everyone in the country from Kashmir to Kanyakumari has been following. What are your thoughts as we see these pictures? This was a historic rescue operation, and I'm pleased to inform our viewers that all 41 workers are in reasonable health, and that all 41 will be rescued over the next couple of hours. 5 have already been rescued. What are your thoughts as you see these pictures?
I think it's a moment of great happiness, satisfaction, and pride also. Happiness and satisfaction about the safe retrieval of the trapped miners, and also a pride in the sense that our agencies worked hard, whether it is NDRF or whether it is other agencies, state and local and national agencies, they worked hard. So to that extent, it is really a matter of satisfaction and pride. But having said that, I think there's a lot more that we have to see just beyond this rescuing operation. Why this whole thing happened, why the situation happened, and whether it can happen again, and how to avoid this situation happening. There are a lot of issues here,
Yeah.
And, it also gave us a feeling that our country has respect for life, because end to end, the whole country was concerned about the trapped persons. On the other hand, when we see that almost 1.5 lakh people die every year in road accident, one starts feeling that whether we really value life. But today we got the feeling that yes, our country has respect for life.
I think that's a great point that you make, Mr. Krishna, because it was said that in India life is cheap. But I don't think anyone who has seen this saga for the better part of the last almost 3 weeks now, 17 days, these workers have been trapped inside. No one will say that in India life comes cheap. They've moved heaven and earth to bring these workers back. Yes, of course, they faced all kinds of hurdles. The machine drilling met with this hurdle of the auger bit, the auger drill being broken. It was broken into many multiple pieces. They could not retrieve that by another machine. They had to then pull it out by hand. If you can just take us through, what kind of ordeal, not just these workers who were trapped inside had to go through. I'll come to that in one moment. But the rescue operation itself, there were experts who were flown in from the United States, experts who were flown in from Australia, and they were overseeing this operation. Multiple agencies were involved in it, and clearly they finally found this major success, and particularly in the last 26 hours when these rat miners had to be brought in from Bihar and Jharkhand, and they had to literally rummage through the debris with their bare hands to cover the last 10 meters or so. Yes, Mr. Krishna, yeah. You have to unmute, sir. Please unmute. Yeah, thank you.
They have done really a wonderful job. There is no doubt about it. And, this is not at all the prescribed procedure for mining or for tunneling of, rat hole mining, etc. is not at all prescribed. And it is very, I mean, I would say it is a matter of great surprise that we had to fall back on this. And our standards are different. The Bureau of Indian Standard has set standards for mining, both excavation type as well as tunneling. And now I think they have to design standards for rat hole mining also. But then all this put together gives an impression that our agencies are not really, they need a lot of capacity building to understand what the geology is like, what the Himalayan geology is like. Because 16 days ago, when this started on 12th of this month, and we were given to understand that within 2 days these trapped miners will be retrieved. But 2 days kept on increasing and then so on, and they could not fathom what exactly was the problem, and every time there was experimentation going on. So this gives I mean, it's like I'm just saying that silver lining of the dark cloud is that we got opportunity to reflect on our strengths and weaknesses, and
All right.
work
So
on our
clearly,
weaknesses.
just to bring our viewers who are just joining us, the big story that's coming out of Uttarkashi is that 5 workers have been rescued. These workers have now been rushed to the hospital. Initial medical treatment has been meted to them at the tunnel site itself. Their blood pressure needs to be stabilized. Their vital parameters need to be checked. This is the first video of the first worker being pulled out from the tunnel after 17 days. First of 41. You can see Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Dhami there. You can see Minister of State VK Singh also there. And they've been there for the better part of the last 3 or 4 days. Certainly the Chief Minister has been there for over a week now, monitoring these rescue operations. And clearly, what a moment this is for the first worker who was pulled out from this tunnel. They've been stuck there for the last 17 days. They're a disparate group of people. They were building this tunnel at the Silkyara village. This was the Silkyara Baralkot stretch. Of course, like Mr. Krishna was saying, there are a lot of unanswered questions about, ecologically sensitive terrain and building large infrastructure projects there. Remember, this is not the first time we've seen workers in an under construction project being stuck like this. There was an NTPC project in which workers were flooded out some years ago. But now the good news, and we want to focus for a moment on this big moment for not just those workers, not just their families, but for all of India who have been following this story with bated breath, because we could relate to each one of them. It was almost like a movie that was playing out in front of our eyes. And now the good news is the first set of 5 workers have been rescued from under the tunnel there at Silkyara Baralkot, and they have now been taken to hospital. The hospital is 30 kilometers away, the nearest hospital. Now I can confirm for you that that number has increased from 5 to 8. So 8 workers have been rescued from the tunnel there. This was the Uttarkashi tunnel project that was going on. It was being built by a private company, and these workers had unfortunately fallen into this tunnel on Diwali day, 17 days ago. And over the last 24 hours or so, like we've been saying, they met with a lot of complications. The auger machine that they were using, the blades of it broke. The debris of those blades was stuck inside the pipeline, and therefore they had to send people in manually to remove the debris first. And then the last 10 meters or so, 8 to 10 meters or so, were absolutely critical and crucial, and there was no way they could dig through those last 8 to 10 meters with any machine, and therefore they had to rummage through it with their bare hands. A bunch of rat miners, I think about a dozen of them, were brought in from different parts of India, and they were the ones who finally managed to get the breakthrough. The breakthrough happened at 7:05 p.m. this evening, when the pipeline finally managed to cut past all the debris and reach the workers. And the first 8 workers have now been rescued. If I can go back to Anshul Singh, my colleague who's there. Anshul, just walk us through what is happening there right now. We're showing the first video of the first worker who has been rescued, and he was there with Chief Minister Dhami, with General VK Singh, the minister from the central government. What is the status of these 8 workers? Where are they being taken to right now?
So yes, let me tell you, Zaka, the celebrations are on out here in Uttarkashi, especially at the Silkyara tunnel site. If I could just move out of the frame, and I'll try and show you in the visuals over here. The ambulances are all readied up now. We are just awaiting for that first ambulance to finally come out. Firecrackers have been have started bursting out here, because remember, this entire incident happened on the day of Diwali, and the people out here decided not to celebrate Diwali because such a massive incident had happened over here. Now finally, after 17 days, these people who are now being taken out, finally celebrations have broken out over here. 8 people have come out from the tunnel safely is what we have been told. What is happening inside, that all these, in fact, the initial medical test of the first 4 people has been completed inside the tunnel is what we can confirm. And yes, these people are waiting for, at this point in time, for more people to come out, so that a large cavalcade could actually go through, because a green corridor needs to be made, and hence they are expecting that at least 4 to 5 people, 4 to 5 ambulances, once they are ready, then they will start moving out. So yes, this is the big development that we are bringing to our viewers, is that people have been started to be loaded up in the ambulances. Their family members will also be with them, and one after the other they would be sent out from this location to Chiliani Sor, where the makeshift community hospital has been made, in which all these 41 workers would be kept under observation for at least 24 hours is what we have been told. And if at all someone needs more attention,
Yeah.
they will be eventually be taken to AIMS Rishikesh. So Zaka, we are getting some more good news. 10 people have now been taken out is what we are being told.
All right.
From inside the tunnel. So yes, the first lot of 10 people has been completed. 10 people are out now,
Okay,
and within
so
the next
10
few minutes, the
workers
entire
are
41
out of the group of 41 that got stuck under this tunnel in Silkyara, the Silkyara Baralkot section of the Uttarkashi tunnel that was being built by these workers, these laborers. 10 workers have now been rescued. Like you've been hearing, NDRF and SDRF personnel there. Over the next hour and a half or so, they expect that all the 41 workers will be brought out. 10 workers have now been brought out, and these 10 workers, like I said, like Anshul has been saying, their vital parameters, their blood pressure, all of that will be checked. The ones who need further intensive medical care will be taken to the hospital. The others, of course, are being given saline drips and ORS. Of course, they'll also have to adjust. The temperatures inside the tunnel was extremely low as compared to the outside temperature where they are now. Also, these people have not been exposed to sunlight for the better part of the last 17 days. But what a saga this has been. And you can see the first video there on the right side of your screen. Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Pushkar Singh Dhami, along with Union Minister, Ms. General V.K. Singh. As you can see, the first set of workers being brought out. We can now confirm to you that 10 workers have been pulled out from this tunnel. Now that number has gone up to 15. So, folks, this is happening very, very fast, very, very quickly there at Uttarkashi, at the Silkyara Baralkot tunnel. 15 workers have now been rescued. That is almost, in fact, more than a third of the 41 who were trapped there for the last 17 days. Anshul, just walk us through what this means for the locals there as well. I'm sure they were just as tense, just as worried over the last 2 weeks since this story came to the national consciousness. What does this mean for the locals there? We can see some of them distributing sweets. There is sloganeering. People are worshipping at the temples. Fireworks are going off. What does this mean for this little sleepy village called Silkyara?
So yes, this absolutely means a lot of happiness for the people out here in Silkyara. In fact, the local peoples were expecting this to happen. They were praying day in and day out to their local gods over here, and that is the reason why this makeshift temple was also built over here. Over the last 24 to 36 hours, constant havan has been going inside, has been going in and around the tunnel. Point is what we have been what we have seen over here. So yes, the situation out here is absolutely fine, and now we are expecting that within the next few minutes all these people would now finally be taken out. The official information that has been given to us is that abhi tak कुल 13 श्रमिक सुरक्षित बाहर निकाले जा चुके हैं. Is the official information that has been circulated to us at this point in time. So yes, one after the other, people are being taken out safely, and as we had predicted that it would almost take 2.5 to 3 minutes for a person to actually come out from the tunnel, and that is something that is proving to be true. The NDRF and the SDRF are making sure that there is absolutely no time that is wasted to take these people take these people out. And yes, celebrations have started over here. Celebrations have started over here. I heard a few fireworks also happening right at this spot. In fact, claps and celebrations and sloganeering have all started to happen over here. This is the spot from where the ambulances will be taken out within the next few minutes. You can see the crowd that has gathered over here. These are all the people who are locals over here, and they are out here in cold just to experience this historic moment that will be written in the history of this country. One of the biggest rescue operations going on for 17 days, one of the toughest rescue operations. One after the other, hurdles came, solutions were found, new hurdles came, new solutions were found. Now finally we are reporting what in fact we wanted to report for the last many days. Finally these people are out. 13 people have already come out. In fact, the rescuers are now confident that within the next hour or so, each and every person would be taken out. So this is the big piece of positive news that the entire country was waiting to hear for the last 17 days, and that is what is happening at this point in time. History is being made, and we are a part of this history now.
Not just for those 41 who've been trapped. Like I said, the entire nation was watching this with bated breath, following every twist and turn. They hit metal barriers; those had to be broken. Drilling machines were brought in from outside. There was this auger machine that was brought in from outside. That was, rummaging through the debris. And then the auger machine drill itself broke a couple of days back. And then they had to go in through pipelines and manually remove the debris of the auger machine drill that had broken. And then the last 8 to 10 meters or so had to be dug through with hand because they couldn't use any machines in those last 8 to 10 meters. You can see how elated the people there are in Uttarkashi, in Silkyara. I'm sure their families are absolutely elated. You can see people distributing sweets. You can see fireworks going up in the sky there. And that's because everyone was watching the story, almost following this like a family member of theirs had been trapped in. These 41 were India's brothers who were trapped in that tunnel there in Uttarkashi. Raghav Chandra is former chairman of the NHAI. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking with us. Your thoughts as these workers are being pulled out one by one. Clearly, they are relieved to be out. We all are relieved that they are all out. Just walk us through what this means, because for 17 days, as my colleague Anshul there is reporting from the location, there was one obstacle after another, and for each of those obstacles, new solutions had to be found and were found.
So this is something extremely joyful for not only these workers, for their families, but for the entire nation and for all the agencies who are involved in construction, because such mishaps do occur. And to be able to unite, to be able to have a very organized and methodical mission mode rescue mission is in itself a very positive development, which we have hitherto not seen happening in India, where such tragedies or mishaps occur in isolation. But here the entire nation got together. So not only from the optics part of it, but also from the professionalism which was displayed in conducting this entire operation, calling in foreign experts, using the best possible techniques, and to be able to get it done. That is a very, very happy, very joyful, very satisfying, very relieving, and also a moment of great jubilation for everybody who's connected with the construction sector or has been connected with the construction sector.
Just talk us through, there used to be a time when it was said that life in India is cheap. I mean, the often cited statistic is more than 1 lakh people die in road accidents. But these 41 workers, like I said, it was not just the fact that, the rescue teams were brought in from different cities. There was one American who was sort of overseeing it. There was an Australian national who was brought in. The entire country sort of came together following these developments. Our various agencies, the NDRF, SDRF, were strongly involved in this rescue operation. But the fact that, the system went out of its way, it pulled out all stops to ensure the safety and to ensure that these 41 were rescued hale and hearty, alive and well. Talk us through that and why that's a change from years past.
You see, in the past, we've had, we've heard of the Latur tragedy, the Chasnala tragedy, and various other such mishaps where people have lost their lives in large numbers because the systems for safety, the systems for rescue were not so developed. But this is the sign of a nation which is advancing towards becoming a developed country, that every such mishap or every such ordeal is taken seriously, not only by the agency which is actively involved in conducting that operation, but by the entire nation. And whether it is the media or whether it is the civil administration, the army, or the NGOs, everyone in a single in a unitary step, they echoed that the first target should be to rescue the workers and to get them out before further post-mortem or analysis is done on anything like this. And so it's a very, very positive augury for all of us that we are being more evolved in our approach towards such matters. And disaster management is taking an important part of our official and administrative thinking. And hopefully this will set standards, apart from taking remedial steps, which must indeed be taken, and investigations, blah, blah, etc. But we must also learn from this that we must set in place systems for operations and rescues, and we should have solid SOP prepared after this.
You make a very valid point. All right, Anshul Singh, my colleague, has an update, so let me go across to him. Anshul, so 15 workers rescued is the last figure that we have. What further details can you share with us from Ground Zero?
So yes, the official information that we have at this point in time, 13 workers have been taken out, and at this point in time, the pilot vehicle is now trying to clear this route through which the ambulances will be taken out. You can see in these visuals that how the operation has just now started. A green corridor is being made right here to make sure that when the movement of ambulances start, that happens in a free manner and there is no obstruction that is present over there. The crowd that you are seeing that have gathered over here, this is the crowd of local people. In fact, announcements are being made for people to move aside. And what we have been told at this point in time, that as the people started coming out, Bharat Mata Ki Jai was some of the slogans that were raised inside the tunnel as well. You can imagine the kind of hard work that has gone inside from at least 15 different companies that were working over here round the clock. More than 1,000 workers deployed on the ground, making sure that this entire rescue operation becomes a success, and that is becoming a reality now. All that hard work that has been put in over the last 17 days, that is becoming a reality now. Now this area is now being cleared of people so that a green corridor could be made, and the ambulances that would then be taken out, these ambulances are taken out without any obstruction at this point in time, because the main focus of the rescuers is to make sure that all these people are taken to safety at the earliest, and through the green corridor that has been made over here. So yes, a lot of developments happening with every passing minute, and we are expecting that within the next half an hour, this entire operation would come to an end, and each and every person who is inside the tunnel would eventually come out.
The word that we're getting, that in the next hour or so, all of them will be accounted for and all of them will be brought out. I'm also joined by Mr. B.S. Singla. He's a former CGM of NHAI. As we look at these pictures, and there's moments of joy there in Silkyara. People are celebrating, sweets are being distributed, fireworks are going off. Obviously, the entire nation has been praying for the well-being of these 41 workers. Walk us through, what are the lessons that we should be learning from such large infrastructure projects, Mr. Singla, because questions will need to be asked. Maybe not today, but certainly when the dust settles on this, questions need to be asked about these large infrastructure projects in ecologically sensitive zones that are being built. What are the safeguards and the checks and balances that need to be put in place so that a situation like this can be avoided in the future?
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Singla, can you hear me? All right, let me go across to Lieutenant General Syed Atta Hasnain. He's a member of the National Disaster Management Authority, and he's been constantly in touch with the rescue teams on the ground. He's been constantly on a daily basis been updating the media on the progress in this